Dzień dobry, witam serdecznie.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are representing our board today. Dariusz Mańko, President of the Board, and Adam Biela, CFO. And a short explanation. We are lacking two members of the board, Piotr Wysocki and Tomasz Grea, who were appointed on the 1st of January. I apologize. Piotr and Tomasz are abroad. And unfortunately, this is our first conference this year, and we are lacking some board members, but we will do everything to change that situation next time. So 2 words about the expanded board. Well, why? Why the decision? We wanted to meet the expectations of the market, and our company is developing, and it's very difficult to base on 2-member board. It's always a risk and a threat if there is any immediate event, or then we need people who will take care of the company. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's summarize 2017. 2017 was really good for us, 4,000 employees. It was a very good year. We met all the objectives that we've presented in our forecasts. So we are a company that is selling to over 50 countries, many clients, 80,000 tons of products have been sold, 2.6 billion revenues. So 2017 was yet another year of continued growth. And we've also continued developing our group and some interesting data. So we paid a record-setting dividend in 2017. We also paid really high taxes, which is a proof of a good situation of the company. And what's behind that? Well, 2017 and the market that was favorable. Well, these were the reasons for everything that good that has happened, and we've increased our investment by 108 million, and we can expect many benefits in the years to come. So how do we see 2018, and what are the chances? What can we expect? At the moment, we are seeing a very good trend in economy, both Polish and European global economy. All the trends are favorable for us, especially in automotive industry. Quite a lot of movement and quite a lot of things are happening in the electric cars industry. So we are producing many elements in our automotive facilities also in Slovenia, and this is a very good trend for us. We are also favored by the last pool of EU funds, and we will be also adding our production in the skyscrapers that will be constructed in Warsaw. We have a lot of contracts that offer us a large sale of aluminium products and aluminium systems. So both segments, extruded products and aluminium systems sale is really good. So what else have we noticed? Well, our portfolio is expanding, and our citizens, Poles, have more money. So what is the threat in 2018? Well, the pressure on the salaries. So the cost of salaries may grow, but then on the other hand, we will have consumers who will be buying products from our factories, for instance, the blinds that are installed in windows. So what other problems can we see here? Surely there is a shortage of labor. And this is a concern because the construction contracts that are being completed, implemented, or projected for 2018 may encounter some problems in terms of employment, labor force, and some noticeable liquidities flows, especially in the construction industry. So any problems there are translating into the sale level, and we really wish the sale level to be very dynamic. And as usual, but that may be a standard news. So our competition both in Poland, in Europe, but the competition has always been there. So well, we are used to it. So ladies and gentlemen, segments, 3 segments. So extruded product segment. So first and foremost, we can tell you that we are expecting growth of sale. So we are expecting over 20% growth of sale in our facilities outside of Poland, Slovenia and Ukraine, basic targets for us. And especially with regard to the systems that are used by the automotive industry. And as I've said it earlier, today many products appear in the designs of electric cars. As you can see here, this is a design for the battery casing in electric cars. So you build a whole box like that, like the one that you can see on the slide. So this is not just an aluminum profile, but it's a processed product that will be sent to a factory that is manufacturing cars. And today, the contracts in Slovenia is worth 6 million euro. This is growing, this is developing, and the perspectives there are quite good. And we can expect a long-term and quite good contracts, 5-6 years long contracts. So we are actually approaching the situation in which we have a long-term contract in a good perspective. Then we can work on the effectiveness of the production by installation of automatic production, so we are able to mass produce a product that is a good quality, and we can actually add that to our forecast for the strategy for another 5 years. And that was our goal that we've been always mentioning to you. So what about investments? Big investments, why so big? Well, it turns out that many investments came to being at the same time. Well, our capacities have reached almost 95%, so all presses are working at full speed. So it's very difficult to work in such situation when we are using almost all our capacities. Therefore, soft alloys press, new press. But I need to remind you that we are also producing the so-called hard alloys. We are the only producer in Poland, and there are not many producers of hard alloys in Europe. And hard alloys is a history for us because we've started 25, 30 years ago when we were creating the company. And that was a sort of difficult subject for us because that was production, good margin, interesting product. But on the other hand, there's always been this sort of thing that we were thinking about it as in the future. So that was always the future for us, and we've been postponing it forever. And well, for the past 20 years, we've been actually thinking about those hard alloys, many various types of equipment, and we had a lot of concepts. We were planning to buy a company in Italy. We had some negotiations running already. We thought that we could close the subject by acquisition, but this acquisition in Italy didn't work out. So we've decided that finally it's the time to take the decision. So we've decided to buy this press and some auxiliary equipment. So we've stayed with the hard alloys, and with the new equipment, we will be able to increase our efficiency, to decrease the cost of production, and we will be able to produce more sophisticated products. So we've stayed with those hard alloys, and part of this production requires laboratory, and we already have this laboratory. And there are no threats from the competition, so it's completely different than us with the soft alloys. And we also have the new anodizing line. We use the capacities fully. We had to have this new anodizing line because of the market requirements. And well, we need to send this positive message that we are the leader, that we are able to actually provide you with any product that you need. And this is our advantage on our competitors. And we want to keep that advantage. And in the aluminium systems segments, we expect that the sale will grow by 6%. But of course, we are expecting that the sales growth will be higher abroad. And this is our strategy. We use smaller entities to sell our products across Europe. And but it's not just Europe. We are selling our systems also in the US, in Arab countries, in many very faraway places. So we focus on our solutions to keep them updated. And this is a serious work. And as you can see on the right hand side on the slide, well, we keep on working on our solutions. So blinds, doors, windows, we need to make them passive enough so that they can actually keep the building warm. And this is a serious work, our designers, our constructors' work. And these are hundreds of designs and constructions that are prepared in order to do some laboratory work in order to receive the certificate license. And this is our advantage. We are not simply copying, but we are a company that is ahead of the market. We are a company that is presenting our own designs and solutions. And sometimes our solutions are being copied. And with regard to expenditures, our company is developing, so this is natural that we need some expenditures. We need some capex. As you can see, the R&D center. This is an extremely important part of our company because we need some know-how, we need licenses, and that gives us higher revenues. And our company in Belgium in this segment is operating much better right now, and we have a good company in the US. And the only problem here was the growth of aluminium prices, and this segment basis on the aluminium. So that's very difficult actually to translate that directly into the market, because we have some price lists, some contracts, and this is our main concern here in 2018. In order to use this growth through this segment, and I hope that this will succeed. Yet another segment that has been touched by a bad trend for us. So the change of consumers' habits, so the change on the packaging market. So we are not really selling that much the soups in packaging that were dried noodles in packaging, and those packagings were our hit sale. So we are moving on to flex method, which is cheaper. And the less the packaging is printed, the more we want to eat the food. As you can see here, the print on the noodles packaging, and now it's just a label, as we can see below that on the slide, just the labels, so that we don't really have a whole picture of a chicken on the packaging, and 10 different colors, and you had to pay for that, and that was very good for us in terms of revenues. And of course that changes, but at the same time we also had some investments, so 43 million zloty in 2018, so new factory. And in my opinion, this is a world level, global world quality level, so you can be safe that we are investing the money in a correct way, and the return on the investment will be really good, because the equipment was supposed to be starting slowly, and it's already working, and it started to work ahead of time, ahead of the deadline, and now it's working at full capacity, and we can safely say that the return on the investment will be quicker and bigger. And we already have the company that will be preparing the foundation for that, and we are contracting that already. So this is the preparation for our investment, and additionally, printers, flex printers, but we are trying to increase our capacities here in the packagings, because our capacities, production capacities, are almost completely used already. So summarizing, ladies and gentlemen, what is there left to say about 2018? Well, you've got the shares of Kety Group in your portfolio, and you notice that every year we try to break record and increase our results. And well, with such situation, at some point we may be a little bit tired. So you may ask me about the forecast for 2018. Well, I could tell you that the forecast maybe could have been better, because, well, the economic situation is really good, and we could be jumping several dozens up. Several dozens percent up instead of just several percent up. But at the same time, we have some facilities that are really working very well, and we have to remember that the whole company is a one company. We have various facilities, and they are just linked to each other. So we need to think about the capacities, about the time, about the possibility to produce. And we may say that the economic situation is really good, but at the same time, we need to have good capacities. And the good economic situation was a surprise for everyone. And well, we've verified everything, we've analyzed everything, because well, everything is connected with new investment, with the human resources, with the raw materials, and we can't just forget about that. We can't just simply construct a new production line, and start producing, because we need to have a specialist who will buy the raw material, who will locate the production. So everything is combined, everything is intertwined, and what we believe is that in such sort of business, it may not sound sexy, and many people may find it boring, but for us, this is the time to observe the investments, and to focus on the efficiency of our production, to work on the cost, and to work on our portfolio of products and customers, in order to search for the most profitable products for our company. And this is how we treat 2018. On the other hand, this 2018 is a very good year for us to dynamically step into 2019, 2020 in order to in order to implement the strategy that was presented to you earlier. And of course, we are observing now the forecast for 2018, but we cannot forget about the implications on to 2019. But observing all that, we are very safe about our strategy, 2020 strategy. And now investments. Well, I've said all about that. Summary. Well, we have a really good big investment budget. We have to prepare to spending that, but please know that you can trust the board, and so far we didn't really have any problems with investments, and our plan is to complete our investment plan as fast as possible, so that in 2019, 2020 those investments are very satisfactory to us, and bring us new revenues. And that's all from me. And now a couple of words about financials, and followed by a Q&A session. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that I'm heard well. Well, macro premises are close to the macroeconomic premises set at the beginning of this year. As you can see, we are forecasting that the economic situation in Euroland countries and in Poland will be favorable to our company, but a stronger zloty is negatively influencing our company, and of course the contracts in US dollars are less profitable, surely, and the whole export to Europe will be less profitable because of the stronger zloty. And as we can see, this is what the segments prepared in terms of the products quantities. So we are presenting about 9% growth of sale, up to the level of 2.9 billion zloty, growth of EBITDA that is under pressure of the cost of services and cost of salaries, and to the level 448 million zloty. This is 6% growth. Well, in our financials operations, we are planning to only have the cost of interest rate. In reality, of course, some of the financing operations, some movements with regard to the foreign currencies will compensate a bit our financial cost, but our budget includes only the cost of interest rate, or at the level of the tax. We project about 11 million zloty asset connected with the investment in the new production line in packaging part. It will be constructed successively, continuously this year, and 5 to 10 million zloty we will spend on this project in 2019. Why EBITDA is under pressure? It is under pressure because of the salaries, of course, and it is under pressure because of all the external services that we purchase, because they base on the external companies' employees, and our projections are here are a bit complicated. I'll try to explain that to you. So firstly, we need to review general cost with the inventories level, and mostly they are already in our warehouses. Mostly they are in our warehouses. So on we can see only 3% growth there. So the second position here, a second element, so again under the pressure of salaries, but also connected with the contract that will be implemented in cooperation as a consortium here in Warsaw, in the Mint factory, and some of the costs will be processed through the external services. Therefore, such a significant growth of this element, and then salaries. Again, everyone is in the same economic situation, so the salaries pressure, we project that we will have to hire 300 new people, employees, and we will also have the growth of salaries for the employees of our company. Another information regarding financials, and this is connected with financing. Well, our policy isn't changing. We are basing on the loans, so we are projecting the growth of long-term loans, and this is also an information that has been already provided to you because in October we've informed you about signing a contract for working capital loan for extruded products segment. We are also working on a long-term financing of our investment in Oświęcim. So that means that the share of the long-term financing will be much better than 2 years ago because it will reach 38% of the whole financing funding. So what are our expectations? Well, here payment of dividend, as we recommended, we've announced that that will be about 80% of the consolidated profit as a dividend, 20 zloty per share. And this is a very short summary to show you where we are at in our strategy. This is about 56% of that has been completed in terms of sales. Now, in terms of EBITDA, our position is really good, especially that I need to remind you that we've updated our strategy twice already. So last year, we also increased the investment program for packagings, for instance, and we've informed you about that in the third quarter of 2017. Our goals with regard to 2020 have grew versus the initial plan that was constructed at the level of 3 billion zloty of turnover. So we are expecting to reach 86% of advancement in terms of sales. All factors are favorable to us. Well, the use of equipment and also the orders. So we hope that 2018 will be as good as the previous year. As you can see, the investments, we will still have around 300 million zloty to spend. So in 2019, 2020, we want to be able to have reached the level of 3.3 billion zloty of turnover, and we have to remember about all those elements that can speed up implementation of our strategy. So these are the things that we've been mentioning for many years. Our objectives are not changing, so our acquisition goals connected with the system, aluminum system segment, and also with the extruded products that is connected with expanding our offer, certificates, and so on. With regard to the aluminum systems, this is connected with the geographical expansion and wider portfolio, new customers, and so on. Another acquisition goal is connected with the fourth leg, the so-called fourth leg that we've mentioned last year to you. So this goal and the remaining goals are still important to us, and they can definitely speed up implementation of our strategy. Now, summarizing, well, the use of equipment, this is a very good first quarter, and I really hope that in 2 months we will have good news for you and another record broken. We want to be up to the requirements of the market. Of course, the pressure of the external services and stronger zloty, well, these are very important, significant elements for us, but we need to tackle that pressure by automation or more advanced products or by distributing our segments and products on international markets. And now we have time for questions, and we have several questions from our online viewers. Let's start with that. So the first question, Robert. So with the growing prices of shares on the are you planning to have a split? No, we haven't considered a split, but we'll think about it. So the second question, according to the mBank, Boryszew and Impex Metal is interested in selling the facility in Konin. Are you interested in acquisition, or are you potentially interested in acquiring NPO Skawina in addition to aluminum in one and in the first one and the second? So the third question, in the flexible packaging, you are projecting growth. In 2017, Oświęcim facility was using 60% of the capacities. Now this is around 100% capacity. Why are you so conservative? Well, because our capacities are not that big. Well, before we bought this BPPO equipment, we've been trading, so we've been trying to probe the market. So firstly, we had to learn that we can actually trade it, we can sell it, and then work on our production. So we had some good trading already and some revenues there. And on the other hand, higher revenues come with the special kind of print, and here we are facing on the flexo print, and this is a cheaper product. Therefore, the revenues aren't growing that fast. So these were the online questions. Are there any questions here in the room? Well, of course, as usually, we welcome any conversations after the meeting, any questions after the meeting. So when are you planning to end the investment in extruded products, more or less? So the presses, hard and soft alloy presses, can you actually specify that? We want to be close to the end, by the end of this year. Well, Well, maybe we will have first ingots in soft alloys in August or September. This is this is our plan. But with regard to the hard alloys, that can be January, December, January. But we want to be close to the end of our investment this year. So if there are no further questions, well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome any conversations and questions after the meeting. Thanks so much.